welcome back to this Wednesday edition of Focal Point on AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. This is Focal Point, the home of muscular Christianity on Conservative Talk Radio. I am, as always, your congenial, convivial, and amiable host. And yesterday, when I talked to you about what the military was doing, the American Family Association, we had been demonized in training done at Camp Shelby in Mississippi. The American Family Association had been demonized as a hate group. After I got off the air, we got the breaking news that the Pentagon has completely reversed field. The Pentagon has reprimanded the instructor who labeled us as a hate group, who prepared the slide linking us with Fred Phelps and the Westboro Baptist Church. And they truly are hate mongers. They truly do hate homosexuals. We don't. We love them. We love them enough to tell them the truth. We want something better for them. We want them to know the gift of eternal life. We love them. We care for them. We love them enough to tell them the truth about the risks spiritually and physically of homosexual conduct. Fred Phelps is not like that. He celebrates it when homosexuals die and all that kind of thing. So that's not what we're made of. So it was this egregious kind of allegation there, completely false. And the military agreed. The military said the information that was in that presentation was incorrect. I'm looking right here at their official statement, and twice they used the word incorrect. The information regarding AFA was incorrect. They have reprimanded the instructor. They basically created the impression that he was some kind of rogue agent out there just kind of perusing the internet and stumbling across all of this deal. And they say, we consider the matter closed. That's the last statement in their official statement from the Pentagon. We consider the matter closed. Now, I want to bring in Kevin McCulloch, the big dog. Kevin is the host of the program that immediately precedes this one, AFA Today. Kevin is mobile on his way to another high-power media engagement in the Big Apple. Kevin, thanks for tuning in, or thanks for checking in with us while you're mobile on your way to your next engagement.
Anytime the Silver Fox calls,
all right.
I reply.
Silver Fox to Big Dog. Come in, Silver Fox to Big Dog. Anyway, Kevin, the reason I wanted to bring you on, and I really appreciate you weighing in here on your way, mobile as you are, and that'll explain the kind of noise you're hearing in the background. But, Kevin, you had Tim Wildman, the president of the American Family Association, on your program, and you had Todd Starnes on your program also. And we understand that Todd is going to be releasing a story. It's going to be breaking news. I mean, our listening audience hearing about it first right here on AFR Talk, first on your program, and now we're revisiting. You broke that news on your program. But tell us what the story that Todd is working on and some of the additional information that's going to come out now on this story.
Well, I found it interesting that you said, according to the Army's statement, that they had reprimanded the presenter because, as of about an hour ago, in trying to trace down, what steps had been taken, neither Todd Starnes nor Tim Wildman nor myself had any evidence that reprimand has occurred. In fact, it seems as though the Army is trying to shield the identity of who this person is, to such a degree that we may never know if a reprimand actually occurred or not. So that was a little bit news to my ears.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of my interpretation of it. But you're right. What the statement says, the soldier, after being challenged on the information, recognized that the information was incorrect. So, from my mind, that's kind of a rebuke. That's a reprimand. Look, you blew it here, but maybe that's not the way it went down.
And I wonder, Brian, to be very candid, if they didn't feel challenged, because yesterday, between my broadcast and yours and several others probably, if we didn't deliver tens of thousands of phone calls to the Pentagon. I mean, at the end of the day, our public servants only really respond when they feel like there's a necessity to, because the public is demanding it. And I know that we delivered, hundreds, if not thousands, of phone calls yesterday. So anyway, but what Todd Starnes brought up on the broadcast in the last hour was that he's continued his investigation into this matter. The Army may say it's closed, but there's still several unanswered questions, and one of them in his mind is why is the Army now conducting a witch hunt, which they appear to be, to try to bring the soldier to some sort of account that let the picture get out that was the proof of the American Family Association being linked to Fred Phelps. They basically demanded a list of everybody that was in that meeting. The implication is that they're probably going to call them in one by one and give them the dressing down until they come up with the guy that they think did it. And that's not, if it's been cared for, then that action's unnecessary. So why is that action moving forward if the issue was really that you had a rogue agent who looked up something on the internet and it happened to be wrong?
Well, you know, and when he contacted me, the soldier contacted me, he was eager to keep his identity concealed, but he said, look, this wasn't a confidential briefing. It wasn't a top secret briefing. Right. There wasn't anything secretive about this. We weren't told to keep this in strictest confidence. It was nothing like that, but he knew the vindictive nature of the military right now under this commander-in-chief, and we've seen that with Sergeant Philip Monk at Lackland Air Force Base. You know, he has issued a direct order by his commanding officer, who's a lesbian. What do you think about same-sex marriage? He says, I don't think it's right. I believe in the Bible. I'm a Christian. I think marriage is one man, one woman. And now he's facing a court-martial because he obeyed a direct order from his commanding officer and told her the truth. And for that, he's being court-martialed. So, you know, this soldier has seen that happen. He knows the risk that he was running by bringing this information to light. Right.
And the full story, you know, the idea that that he could be punished if he gave a contribution, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the other thing that Todd Starnes revealed on our show last hour is that it appears as though the military in their statement yesterday wasn't telling the exact truth, because Todd now has another informant on the record that works in the area of the equal opportunity counselors. Now, the reason why that's important is because it's the equal opportunity counselors that are conducting these training seminars.
And but so this, and let's just be clear, and Todd, I mean, Kevin, to be clear, this is in the military. This is equal opportunity branch of the military.
Correct. And they are conducting these training seminars all across bases, all across the United States. Well, according to the statement that you just read, the Army minimized the importance of this action because they made it sound like an isolated incident in which rogue activity went on and information was found falsely, to no fault of the Army, but to the specific agenda-driven nature of the agent himself. What the equal opportunity counselor told Todd Starnes that he will be putting into print this afternoon is that, in fact, what that person admitted to is that this is widespread, that this information is made available to all of the agents that do the training, and that they are actually commended and recommended to go to the Southern Poverty Law Center's website to verify the villainy of these hate groups. And so what you have here is basically a complete refutation of what the Army said in its release in response to the phone calls that came yesterday. So we don't have the Army in this case telling the truth to the American people, number one, about why the AFA was originally included in their list of hate groups. Secondly, they tried to minimize the impact of it. That turns out not to be true, but in fact it is part of the training process that they are sending all of their trainers out to conduct these seminars on all of the military campuses that do these training seminars. So we're still trying to get to the bottom of all of this, and we're uncovering kind of discredited statement after discredited statement, kind of one at a time, based on the very diligent reporting of Todd Starnes.
Well, you know, you look at this statement. I'm talking here with Kevin McCulloch, host of AFA Today here on AFR Talk, breaking the news that there's more to this AFA hate group story than at first appears. So the very first sentence, Kevin, in the official statement from the Pentagon, the slide does not reflect our policy or doctrine. Info was not pulled from official Army sources, nor was it approved by senior Army leaders, senior equal opportunity counselors, or judge advocate personnel. According to Todd's research, all of that is an absolute, total, bald-faced lie.
And it would be one thing if they had not included specifically the equal opportunity counselors.
Yeah, senior equal opportunity counselors, yeah.
But they specifically isolated, they specifically included them. And what the source that Todd Starnes has on record now, and he will be, again, publishing this piece at Fox News sometime this afternoon, is that, in fact, that is not true. This is widespread. The use of this information is going into the training seminars, and they are being recommended to the Southern Poverty Law Center as a reliable source to determine the validity of what hate groups consist of in America. All of that, totally laughable from a journalistic standpoint, but also, I think, criminal in terms of what it does to the reputation and the good name of the American Family Association.
Well, I'm looking at the very last statement from the Pentagon. We consider the matter closed. And that struck me as odd. The first time I read it, Kevin, it struck me as kind of odd. But when we look at this additional information that's come out now, it makes it appear like what the Pentagon was trying to do here was to close down investigation, close down conversation, close down any further research, close down any debate on this. Like they are trying to conceal this thing. They're trying to tie it up. They're trying to wrap it up. They're trying to keep people from looking into this any further. Which betrays kind of a guilt on their part that they know there's something to hide here and they don't want it to be revealed.
Well, and again, this would be a totally different context, Brian, if we had not over the last 6 months seen the administration and its influence on the executive branch ministries that it oversees be deceptive, be coercive, be dishonest, be very hidden until exposed in case after case after case. And it would be very different yet if we didn't have an example of earlier this year of another training seminar revealing another list of potential extremists that included evangelical Christians and consciously devoted Catholics and other people of committed faith. I mean, because there is a history, makes us naturally dig deeper to see if we're getting the whole story here. And because there is a history, we are digging deeper. And because we are digging deeper, we are finding out that there is more history. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that they can't seem to get rid of because, guess what? There's actually a pattern of oppression towards people of religious faith, specifically in the military, and specifically those that observe Christianity.
Our guest has been Kevin McCulloch, whom I affectionately refer to as the Big Dog, host of AFA Today here on the AFR Talk Network. Breaking news over the last hour that there is more to come in Todd Starnes' investigative reporting into the military. Apparently they lied through their teeth to the American public that this was a rogue instance that's not connected to any military policy. Now we're seeing that this is a part of the official training that's being done by senior members of the military. Well, Kevin, appreciate very much you taking time with us. God bless you, my friend, and thanks for your good work on this story.
And everybody catch Tim Wildman tonight on the Kelly File at 9 Eastern, 10 Central.
There you go. Focal Point and AFR Talk back in 2.